Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're literally pulling back the curtain on how modern media is actually put together. You know, when you're watching a super polished presentation, a slick app, or a high-end corporate video, you probably think a massive team of artists spent months agonizing over every single detail from scratch, right? Well, actually, the reality is completely different. Modern content is basically just stitched together using digital Lego blocks. It's wild. Creators today, they're less like painters staring at a blank canvas. And honestly, they're more like master assemblers, just snapping together these perfectly pre-designed pieces. It's a truly fascinating evolution, and pulling apart the source material today is going to completely change how you view digital creation.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the Modern Creators Toolkit, then how they're hooking viewers with templates. Next up is the hyper-niche visual world, followed by AI voices and global audio, UI animations and micro-interactions, and finally, we'll dive into the fine print, which is licensing. Let's get right to it.
Part 1. The Modern Creators Toolkit. Okay, so let's dive into this and just wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the digital assets available to creators right now. The internet has basically turned into this infinite, endless warehouse of digital components just waiting to be used. To give you a real sense of this scale, consider this massive number, 50 million plus. That is just the amount of stock video footage sitting on Shutterstock alone as of March 2026. I mean, think about that for a second. 50 million individual clips, just waiting to be snapped right into our hypothetical project. This staggering volume, it fundamentally changes the economics of content creation. It slashes production time and costs so drastically that a solo creator working from a laptop can output the visual fidelity of a massive, big-budget studio. Whether you need a sweeping drone shot of downtown Seoul at golden hour, a crazy abstract cyberpunk tunnel zooming past the lens, or literally just a woman drinking water in a forest, you don't need to hire a camera crew anymore. No location permits, no stressing over the weather, you just search, click, and download. The asset is already shot, it's meticulously color-graded, and it's sitting there in stunning 4K resolution.
Part 2. Hooking viewers with templates.
But, as you know, raw footage alone isn't going to capture an audience's attention. Every great explainer, social channel, or pitch deck needs that flashy intro. And rather than building complex motion graphics from scratch, modern creators, they just grab pre-built templates. This is exactly how we get that professional polish so fast without needing an advanced degree in animation. If you want a highly complex visual hook, you look to curations like CSS Author's 2025 list of free After Effects templates. I mean, why spend 40 hours meticulously keyframing a particle explosion when you can literally download a drag-and-drop particle explosion clean title? It's a no-brainer. If you want something sleek and corporate, you grab the smooth sliding intro. Building an edgy streetwear brand, the urban freeze frame or the modern glitch logo intro are absolutely perfect. Editing a travel vlog? Boom. Drop your footage into the fast travel opener. You literally just download the file, swap out the placeholder text with your own logo, hit render, and you've got a Hollywood-level opening sequence in minutes.
Moving on to Part 3. The hyper-niche visual world.
So, let's talk more about visual assets, because stock footage has evolved way past those generic handshakes and smiles in bright boardrooms. It's morphed into this hyper-specific, almost borderline absurd visual catalog. Just think about the incredible specificity of what's out there. This phrase, Bitcoin on ground pathway to the angry bull with red eyes 3D render animation. That's not a joke. That is an actual, highly specific 4K video clip you can download right now from Shutterstock's stock market section. Seriously, if a creator wants to make a hyper-stylized segment about the aggressive, volatile rise of crypto, they do not need to hire a 3D animator to spend weeks building an angry bull charging through a digital landscape. That incredibly specialized concept already exists. It's pre-rendered, it's beautifully lit, and it loops perfectly for 21 seconds.
The sheer depth of these modern libraries means that entirely new visual aesthetics have been completely pre-rendered and are just waiting for us. Take the concept of a motherboard city as an example. If you need tech footage to represent big data or the inner workings of the internet, you're obviously not building a miniature set. You just search the catalog, which currently pulls up 597 completely unique clips for that exact, highly specific prompt. And the variety is wild. You can choose a glowing AI chip connected to a motherboard that seamlessly blends into a futuristic city. You could opt for server components that look like a sprawling miniature metropolis. Want a retro vibe? Go ahead and grab 1970s internal computer parts lit with moody neon lights. Or if you want to get weird, find a completely abstract techno city made entirely of glowing orange circuit lines stretching out to the horizon. It's like this massive visual buffet, letting you perfectly match whatever specific narrative tone you're trying to build.
Though, you know, as amazing as these endless libraries are,
Sometimes, the simple searches just hilariously fail. You could be totally in the zone, assembling your grand digital masterpiece, searching a platform like Freepik for a completely innocent image, like, say, a graduation cap against a dark background, and bam! You suddenly hit a literal digital wall. A 403 error pops up, telling you their security filter flags something and you don't have permission to access the page. It's just a funny, kind of frustrating reminder that while we have millions of incredible assets at our fingertips, we are still completely at the mercy of automated algorithms and security bots. Bots that can apparently mistake a harmless graduation cap for a high-level security threat.
Part 4. AI Voices and Global Audio.
Okay, so we've got our flashy intro templates, we've got our hyper-niche 4K visuals all lined up. But giving a project a compelling voice, that is where the real Wizard of Oz illusion takes hold in our modern digital toolkit. Historically, getting high-quality narration meant putting out casting calls, renting really expensive professional recording studios by the hour, and spending days in post-production just to get the audio right. Today, it is literally a simple text-to-speech comparison. With tools like Minimax Audio, creators don't need any of that physical infrastructure. They don't need the overhead. They just type their written script into a text box, click a button, and generate remarkably natural, human-like synthetic audio instantly.
And the sheer diversity of casting available to anyone with a keyboard is absolutely mind-blowing. Just consider the options from a platform like Minimax to see exactly what I mean. If you're launching a new online show, you can literally select an engaging podcast host profile to get a fluent, brisk, and casual delivery. Need a warm, grainy, resonant voice to give some serious authority to a historical documentary? Boom! You cast the trustworthy advisor. Working on a quirky animation? Just pick the polite girl profile for a high-pitched cartoon tone. Or if you're producing a sweeping audiobook, you can tap into the deep, resonant tones of the epic storyteller. This single platform gives you over 300 of these distinct AI profiles in over 60 languages, including Hindi. And get this, the tech is so advanced right now, you can even clone a specific custom voice from just 10 seconds of sample audio. You are basically directing a massive, multilingual cast of seasoned digital voice actors right from your web browser at a fraction of what it used to cost.
Part 5. UI Animations and Micro-Interactions.
Now, if you happen to be building an interactive digital explainer, a polished website, or a responsive mobile app, static images and looping videos just aren't going to cut it. You need engaging buttons, loading screens, dynamic interface elements, and yes, you guessed it, those are off-the-shelf digital Lego blocks today too. This brings us to a really revolutionary format called Lottie. So, a Lottie JSON is this highly efficient, super lightweight animation format used across web, iOS, and Android ecosystems. It creates scalable, interactive motion without the lag or heavy file sizes of traditional videos. Platforms like Icon Scout offer hundreds of thousands of these Lottie animations ready to drop in. Imagine you're building a landing page and you need a vibrant, bouncing Visit Now button to call viewers to action. Your developer or designer doesn't have to spend hours writing custom physics and motion code from scratch anymore. They simply download this tiny Lottie JSON file, drop it directly into their codebase, and it works natively and beautifully on any device.
When you step back and look at the absolute scale of a platform like Icon Scout, it's genuinely staggering. We are talking about a library with over 11.3 million scalable vector icons, nearly 1,968,000 to be exact, of those lightweight Lottie animations we just talked about, over 805,000 fully rigged 3D icons and avatars, plus 160,000 interactive animated icons. With millions of these assets ready to deploy at a moment's notice, the sheer volume means literally any user interface element you can possibly dream up, whether it's a pulsing shopping cart or a sleek, rotating 3D customer service avatar, is just a click away. And hey, if by some absolute miracle you can't find exactly what you need in that ocean of files, they even have built-in AI generators to whip up custom images on the fly. It is, for sure, a designer's absolute dream.
Which brings us to Part 6, the fine print, licensing.
All right, so we've successfully snapped together our video, our audio, our flashy templates, and our UI animations into a cohesive project. Fantastic. But finally, to make sure our digital Lego block creation doesn't get us sued into oblivion, we really have to look closely at the fine print of asset licensing. Now, navigating usage rights used to feel like it required a specialized law degree, right? But modern stock platforms like Vectizy provide a very clear stepped path for creators. You can often start out with a free license, which usually requires you to give attribution, like putting stock videos by Vectizy in your final credits, and it typically limits you to non-commercial use.
But if you need more freedom and you want to drop those credits, you just step up to a Pro Standard license for about $9 a month. That covers a single user and gives you peace of mind with up to a $10,000 legal guarantee. And if you're managing a larger team, you grab the Pro Business license for $99, which protects multiple users collaborating across a whole organization.
And it's super fascinating to see how this scales up for the absolute highest end of content creation. If you compare that $9 a month Pro Standard tier to the Pro Enterprise tier, it reveals exactly what massive multinational agencies need when they're building media. That enterprise level gives you coverage for over 21 users, sensitive use coverage for tricky topics, full third-party transfer rights so you can hand the project directly off to a client, and get this, a massive legal guarantee of up to $1 million per incident. It perfectly illustrates how this modern digital asset economy scales all the way from a solo creator grinding away in their bedroom right up to global advertising firms producing campaigns for the entire world.
So it really leaves us wondering, as we navigate this fascinating new era, we've seen that the building blocks of modern media are prefabricated, hyper-niche, and endlessly scalable. If our intro sequences are downloaded templates, our footage is pre-rendered 4K stock, our voices are synthesized by AI, and our app interfaces are just dropped-in Lottie files, what is the actual role of the creator in the future? Well, perhaps the creator is no longer just the person who paints the canvas from scratch. Maybe, just maybe, they are becoming the visionary architect who knows exactly how to snap these infinite digital Lego blocks together to tell a truly compelling story. Something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.